Howdy, howdy, y'all. Welcome to episode 22 of the Kilima Post, a Palia podcast with your host, K Fiercine.
And Shinori Yoru talking about our 2026 Palia Wishlist. So things want change added into the game this year. So how are you, K Fierce? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I know we took a bit of a holiday break. We had a lot of things going on, and everybody got a lot of things going on that time of year. So,
It's been pretty busy, especially with how holidays were. Especially spending time with our family, our friends, loved ones. It's been pretty good.
right. But it's 2026, and I'm ready to get back into it. And I guess maybe start I guess this is officially like the first episode of the season 2 of the Kilima Post. But I'm definitely excited to get back into it. And so I figured a great topic to start the year off would be just talking about things we wanted added into the game this year. And, things that,
Ooh,
we want changed or whatnot so that we
right.
can more enjoy the game. So, how have you been these last little bit?
Oh, I've been pretty good. Winter and Boxing Day has been a bit uneventful. I'm pretty sure many people feel the suffering of not being able to afford that much for Christmas. I've been seeing a lot of people like not being able to like do like Secret Santa or that much. I know some people have, don't get me wrong, but for many of us, I think we were just staying indoors rather than like going outside. Because I've been seeing a lot of people like going outside, but it's a lot of people outside, so yeah.
Right. But, uh, but no, it's a
uh,
whole new year. So,
it is. Any New Year's
happy
resolutions?
2026.
Yeah, happy 2026. Any New Year's resolutions?
Uh, None in particular, besides the fact that I want to get chickens going this year on the homestead. Like, my goal is to
Ooh,
really just focus in and really start learning how to grow things. And my main goal is I want to
right.
be able to make my own yarn by the end of this year. I want to make my own ball of yarn. So
Ooh.
out of something that I have grown on the land.
Have you
So
grown like cotton or to have like sheep or something or a goat?
I would love to eventually get like sheep,
Yeah,
but or goats, both. But I know
yeah.
this year I don't really have much of an infrastructure. As I said, I'm hoping to get chickens this year, get my own little peckies,
Right, right,
and so that's my main goal is to get a chicken coop built and get that going. So,
right. And
what
that's gonna
about
take a lot
you?
of work.
Any New Year's resolutions for you this year?
For me, I'm hoping to get a new PC. That's what I'm really aiming for, especially with yeah, my laptop still works and all, but like you kind of want a bigger space and also an actual PC rather than a laptop going. Just for
Right.
streaming wise, and also I'll be able to have a like epic settings on my Palia. I've been playing low settings all this time, especially with streaming and all. It's kind of very hard to like justify the low settings when people are coming in and being like, "Why are you playing low settings?" I'm just gonna be like, "Well, I can't play epic settings while streaming. Unfortunately, my computer can't handle it." So
Right. I definitely feel that as someone who lives in a tiny home, I'm forced to live on a laptop.
yeah,
So, and that's a big reason why I started playing Paleo on the Switch was because my computer wouldn't be able to handle all of that. And because of that, I kind of like really found like my lane and I've really been and actually enjoying, console Palea. And so it allows me to
right.
bring also a different opinion forward in some aspect. So,
it, Paleo in general, we all know it does take a lot of space, especially with like trying to log in. Many people have had the trouble of getting disconnected or like something's not working. I get
mhm.
it, and many people are still to this day unable to play Paleo with all the new all the settings. So it's kind of very frustrating when it's a free game, but your computer can't handle it. It's just like, oh boy,
Right.
yeah.
but I figure I would start off this 2026 wish list.
Yeah.
And I would say one of the big changes I would love for them to do to Palia this year is to give us an honest Maji Market revamp. Like I know we did an episode talk.
Please,
I
for
know
the love of God.
we did an episode talking about all the changes we would want, into
Yes,
it. So we're not gonna like rehash too many of it, but like
I
I love Maji Market, but Maji
I do
Market needs
too.
a lot more to it. Like
Right,
if you're gonna have this in here, like especially if you're gonna make it every month and make it like a week long every month. If it
right.
was like a weekend, that would be one thing. But the fact that it's like a week long event once a month, like
Yeah,
I'm gonna need some more substance. Give me some more
yeah,
games, give me some more prizes, mainly some more games. Like there are tons of ways where they can incorporate our different skills in the game into different mini games that they could
right,
easily do for the Maju market.
right. All right, so especially with like the pickaxe, which we can just hit down. I was thinking like basically whack a mole, or basically with our hunting, you can just shoot like targets. Like we kind of do it with Papa Choppa, but it's not standardized. So like to be like stay in one spot and just like shoot a bunch of target. With like the bullseye, right? Yeah,
Right. Yeah, and I know and I had mentioned using the bug bomb
mm.
throw animation to basically throw a ball and knock like Orlu
Yeah,
milk
yeah,
jugs off a stand. Like there are tons of different things they could do incorporating the
right.
different skills into the Maji market. And I feel like, as I said, if it's just going to be this common, I just want a bit more to it. I want to really enjoy it a bit more. Yes, it'll
Yeah,
still get old because I
yeah.
play the game every day for so many hours a day, and I will play inevitably every Maji market. So it'll definitely get old to me. But when people who are brand new to the game and only been playing the game for a couple of months
Yeah.
are telling me that they're tired of the Maji market, then I'm like, hey, either don't make this as often or make it better.
They need to make it like they'll have furniture because I'm still waiting for like a lot of bunch of furniture in, but I'm not entirely sure if they're working on that either because I know they're mainly focused on the new stuff coming out. I get it, but the old stuff needs to be revamped as well, which is kind of a trouble with all this, especially with the
Mhm.
chopper chases not being that much functional. Because you do get the countdown, and then like, oh, there's no scoreboard. Oh, you can't pick up the choppas. Okay, you gotta leave and come back. Like, I know they tried fixing this, but it's still broken.
Right. I
So,
mean, I thankfully, knock on wood, have not had that issue in a
okay,
long time myself. So I can't speak on that. But
yeah,
what I would love for them to do for Choppa Chase is I know somebody on stream had suggested this a couple of months ago and I just hadn't thought about it. But putting an extra Choppa Chase bin and a spawn section on the other side in the other grass area
yeah,
and let there be like two areas
right,
for people to run back and forth into.
right,
I think that would be a lot more fun and a lot more engaging because I feel like not everybody are all piled up on the same couple of main spawn points.
right.
Because I got my spot for Choppa Chase I always go to, and there's a lot of times there's like two or three other people there, and we're all fighting for
One
one Choppa
choppa,
that
yeah.
spawns.
And also not just a grass area, but I'm thinking like in front of Hodori's store, where the Luna Market where Delilah has her store right there. Why not put the
Hmm.
chopper chase right there?
That works too, but yeah, I just want some more like just active mini games while it's in session because like here's my thing. The event starts at 6 p.m., but like the
Yeah,
two back-to-back actual token events isn't for a little bit later. So it's like you get
yeah.
there and what is there to do early besides sit there and fish, you know? Like at least for
I
the
mean, talk.
lunar market, you can go and play some hot pot, which is nice. But the fact that we have hot
Yeah,
pot in the underground, I'm not that concerned about having hot pot at the lunar market. Now, if they like
Right,
basically
right.
took away Hot Pot from the underground, and if they brought it back to solely at the Maji Market every month, that would be a little different. I'd probably enjoy it a bit more. But I think it's the fact that I already have so much oversaturation to the hot pot right now that if they just added
Mm.
it to the regular Maji market, that wouldn't be enough for me. Because I'm like, I can play this any other time, you know? Yeah, you will get tickets for it instead of the underground tokens, but at the moment, I don't really need tickets, so
Yeah. I mean, I'm literally just saving up. It's nothing to be like, yeah, we're gonna be spending a lot of these. No, we're just saving up for the next thing that might add into the Mantra market. But yeah, from like 6 to 10, if you get there early, you're just there to like talk to the villagers and see how they are, or just go fishing, or basically just hang around with your friends, either or. But for Mantra market, yeah, it seems there needs to be something. I know many people were complaining when Balloon Pop was like 4 hours before Chopper Chase, and that's why they changed it to from 8 to 10 in game. But it was 8 before. But maybe we were just sitting around doing nothing, literally just hanging out for Chopper Chase, and then once Chopper Chase hits, then everyone was on, like everyone was off AFK and just did that. So I don't know, like there has to be a bit something like to make us to be like, yeah, there's something to do at 6 p.m. when we get there, rather than like, okay, yeah, we're only gonna be there at 9 because just for Papa Choppa, and then go Choppa Chase, and then that's it.
like, exactly. So give us some
Yeah,
more like mini games, but it not be on a certain time frame, you know? Like as I said,
right, right,
little like carnival mini games. Like give me that so that I can earn me unlimited tickets and I'll even pay for, per gold, so many gold per play, you know? It would be a good money dump, be a way for people to earn all the tickets they'll want to earn instead of just waiting for the
right.
two events happen. And then you can still go do the two events and then you can come back and play more mini games, you know? And it would make it
Yeah,
feel more like a fair. And also something recently I had thought of, like I would love for there to be like food, like you know how you can buy food at the market? Like, what
yeah.
if there was like Maji Market only like little buffs that you could get? You know, like if you spent gold on a particular food, you might run slightly faster while at the Maji Market,
Uh,
or I mean, that might be a little too
mm,
overpowered because then people be like, oh, well, you have to have that for Choppa Chase. But, that game is like server wide anyway. So the more people who get it, the
right.
more everybody gets tokens, anyways. Even if you only get one, you still get a lot of tickets from everybody else doing it. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't think it would be that, game breaking or anything. Or, maybe increase like your fishing speed or, just fun or maybe just fun little buffs, make it to where your character like glows or has like some of the effects that they put on the animals. Like have it to where you
right.
can get maybe some of those effects and it only happens during the Machi market or something.
That would be nice. Like, I'd rather not have it outside to be like, wait, why is that guy running faster than me? What?
No, 100%. It would be one of those where once you leave the market, those buffs gone. Whether you load
Yeah,
out,
yeah,
teleport out, whatever, like you don't retain those like look effects or a speed bonus or a
yeah,
fishing
yeah.
bonus or nothing. But also, I want bugs at at the Maji market. Like let some bugs spawn.
Yeah, I would love to like lantern bugs, like flow bugs or like glow bugs. Like they're in the game, but it's like, but they're not in Kilima. So, yeah, they're not in Kilima. So it's just like, well, if you have like fire lights or like something like that, bugs, I would love that a lot more, especially with how pretty Magic Market is, but it needs a bit of something more. I think this would be a good
Well, I
addition.
mean, like you
Yeah.
can have like the dragonflies during the day fly around the edge of the
Right.
beach, or the edge of the
Right.
water, You can have, like different bugs, grasshoppers appearing in the grass area, Like I
Yeah,
feel
yeah,
like
yeah, yeah.
little things like that would make that little zone feel so much more alive. And all you gotta do is just similar to the fish, you just gotta repeat everything you've got in Kilima because it's the Kilima Fairgrounds. So why would it not have all the bugs that Kilima has, you know?
No, I get that, and especially with they haven't really added any bugs in Kilmon in a while, so I feel like that should be changed up. We're just literally waiting for like new bugs, new content, and also more stuff added to the game. But even then, like I feel like they're not adding in like the revamping the maps that much. So I feel like Kilmon needs to be added to like make it more lively in a way.
Well, and I think that will come once the game gets more alive. But yeah, I would
Yeah, yeah,
definitely love for them to add new content to older zones as time goes on.
yeah. Well, time will tell because we don't know how much they're working on. Plus, their staff as well, and seeing how they're well, like what they're working on as well.
Right,
It is a lot of work, and I'm still giving credit to Palia because I'm not sure if they have gotten new people. After the layoffs and everything, hopefully they have hired a bit more staff to work on the game, but time will tell on how things will be made.
right,
Because I feel like with the new games that are coming out this year, like GTA 6, for example, many people would go over there just because, like, oh, it's a new game, everyone loves this game. But with Palia, it's just cozy and all that. So it time will tell on how what the game will the games overshadow Palia. I don't know, but I want Palia to be like ahead and also be worked on a lot of things, and I'm hoping it doesn't stay too far behind
right.
on the for its competition.
Well, I know
Right?
last year they had told us in like one of the roadmaps they were like every month for the every patch for the rest of the year or whatever we're gonna add in more quests into this game, you know. And at first
Yeah,
they were adding some good quests, and then like the last like
yeah,
2 or 3 months, it's literally just been the bundles and a
yeah,
small little quest associated with it. And look, I
yeah,
know they did say in the most recent roadmap that they were working on the new zone, and before the new zone would come out, a whole bunch of Elderwood quests will come out so we know more about it, as well as a friendship with Ulfi.
yeah.
But
Hopefully, yeah,
I will say this. I want on my wish list, I want that little temple area in the Elder Woods, you know, the one that's got the big glowy wall in
right,
front of it. I want us to
right.
be able to go into that temple and do some fun dungeoning. Like, I love the temples so far in this game, and I definitely want
Right.
them to keep adding them. I think they're a fun
Hmm.
single player like challenge, you know, and especially especially when we got to go back in there and like we were sitting there shooting arrows and dodging lasers. I was like, this is kind of fun,
Hmm.
you know. That was like really
Yeah.
showing the potential of what they can do with Palia. And
Right.
I really want the temple to have cool things like that kind of really challenge me as a Palia player. I would love to get better skilled at the game, but there's not really any challenges to really rise up to that for the most part. And so I really want them to add the temple when they're adding in the quests into the Elder Woods.
Yeah. And but for those who don't know what temple that Keyface is talking about,
Oh,
if you go to Mavis Way, to the board and then walk a bit, you'll see this little white building that's blocked off. You can see that on the left of your screen. And then basically from there we don't know what's in it. So that's literally the temple that Keyface is talking about. And like there could be a lot of things. Like I don't know, they could do like Legend of Zelda water temple type of thing. It could be fun. You never know. Like actually swim around. Like ooh, that's a new feature. You haven't done that before. But I know water features might be a bit harsh on that. So I don't know. Like they could do like for this particular area. Hey, let's swim around and like have fun in that. I mean, it could be interesting. You never know. Like it's something new. Like okay, like
right.
swimming.
But yeah, I just know that is an area that I know that they're planning on using it to give us another temple because you know we have the gale winds, the waves, the fire, earth temples. And
Yeah,
obviously we need more as time goes on.
we
And
do, we do, we do, we
because
do.
they're a fun like single player like dungeon platforming. Like I feel like for what they've done so far in them, they have so much potential in what they could be. And I'm definitely excited to see more of them. And so that's why
Yeah,
when I
yeah,
saw that area in the Elderwoods, I was like, oh my God, I can't wait to go there. And, the Elderwoods have been out for so long now, and they haven't even, Singularity 6 hasn't even mentioned about that spot yet. And so
no,
I'm like, come on, let me go in there. Let me do this dungeon. Like, this sounds so much fun.
right. And I feel like the little cave, the secret cave, that we had to do at the very beginning, it still needs to be more developed. I find, like, okay, we found this little area, but that doesn't really like go much because we still have to go find like do the maze and all that when we did it. Spoiler alert, but I'm not gonna spoil how to solve it. But it was interesting. Like, don't get me wrong, but I feel like there's a lot more to that area. If they want to add in more, so I don't know. Like, they could make like a whole another map of it. If you like, hey, if you go through this section and get to this place, you unlock another area. Oh, okay.
Well,
So I don't know. That could be the passage to like the new map. You never know, but who knows? I really don't know.
like, in all honesty, that's how I thought I was going
Mm.
to get into the Elder Woods. But I
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
also was thinking, like, as we get more and more zones, like that area, that temple will actually become bigger and bigger, and more stuff will be added to it. Like, I definitely don't feel
Yeah,
like we
yeah.
are done in that spot yet. I feel like that one's way too important.
You know the central stables where it's blocked off as well, that little purple wall.
Yes.
People have predicted that to be another area, so I'm not sure. Who knows what could be behind that purple wall, but it could be another like section where there might be developing like another forest area, maybe so much, and they could just be expanding the map that way. I don't know. I'm not sure like how they're going to be doing this,
Okay,
but
look. Okay, so low key, like either I think it is an unfinished area of the Elder Woods, and like you'll be
which is
able to
fair.
go up to another layer.
Yeah.
But I also think it could be like basically like a mountain cliff, and it goes
Hmm.
into another zone. Like you just climb
Yeah.
up a mountain there, because the Elder Woods is in like a swamp area pretty far down. There's mountains, but
Yeah.
it all goes down to the bottom.
Yeah.
It's definitely not like up and down, up and down, up and down all the way across. Like it slowly works its way down. So, which
Mm-hmm.
basically means that the Elder Woods is essentially on the side of possibly a massive mountain. So why couldn't we go further up out of the Elder Woods and onto a prairie styled side of the mountain, or maybe like a snowy area up there or something? Like it could definitely keep going up in elevation.
I would love that.
So
But
kind of like how the doors in Bahari opened up to the Elder Woods, like
mm,
the force shield will go away, and then we'll be able to go into whatever the next zone is going to be.
right.
That's what I think it's more of than a non-used area of the Elder Woods.
Right, right. No, I get that. But I think with the like people have said like the deep forest is like a swamp area.
Mm-hmm.
So what if we actually had like an actual like forest area where like yeah, you can climb the trees and all that, but there's also a huntable creature. It could be like a raccoon or it could be like a monkey. I don't know. What do you want to do? Like they can climb trees and like you have to shoot the. It might be a bit annoying at first, but it could be fun. Like
Okay.
just like okay, you got this huntable creature on a tree, and then like oh you gotta it's avoiding you like and then you're just trying to do that. I don't know. Like, it could be fun. You never know, but it could be a bit annoying. But it's okay. I don't think it'd be like too bad than like looking up and then like shooting down a bird or something.
Right. No,
Like
absolutely. I thought the
yeah,
Elder Woods was definitely going to be more woodsy than what it ended up
yeah,
being. it's definitely a lot more swampy than what I guess
Yeah,
originally was anticipating.
yeah.
And so no, I definitely understand that. And I definitely would I don't think the next area, cuz we know we're getting a new zone this year, and I'm pretty
Mm,
sure like that zone is not going to be a very woodsy area.
I'm hoping it would be, but as I said, I don't think it's gonna be the other ones they're gonna be releasing. I think it's gonna be the fair. So we'll see. I could be wrong. You never know, but
Right.
I'm guessing it's the fair.
But
That'll be fun.
and the new village associated with the fair.
Yeah, of course, of course.
Yeah, because it's
Gotta
going
beat
to be
Delilah's
well, it's going to
rival.
be I feel like a village, and then they will have their own fairgrounds that opens
Of
up
course.
so much,
Yeah.
so many times a year or something.
Yeah. And seeing Delilah's rival, seeing the one who's kicking her butt every time, you kind of want to get some information about them. So yeah, would love to meet new people and also see how this whole storyline kicks place with what they're talking about. We'll
Right.
see. We'll see. Yeah, yeah.
Well, because I know
Wait.
they basically said if they release the name of the zone, like
Yeah.
they were like, if we give you any hint about the zone, it will spoil everything we have planned for the zone.
Right. Right.
So I'm like, what is it that you can't even tell a little bit of? Because we know, because with this new zone coming, we know it's going to, at the moment, it looked pretty open and flat within their teaser they showed us earlier last year.
Hmm.
And I know that me and you had talked about in a previous episode where we would love to go to the town of the rivals of the Dea family at their
Yeah.
county fair.
Right.
And so, and that would be the thing if they did release, because I forgot the name of their village, that other village. But if
I
they
don't think it
did,
was mentioned.
but even if they did mention anything about rival farmers or any or
Yeah.
a country fairground or anything
Right.
like that, it would kind of ruin the whole, because the whole point of going here would be to meet their rivals and to go to the county fair and participate in that kind of thing and add a whole nother
Yeah.
village of people, which
Yeah.
I feel like this game desperately needs is more characters to interact with.
Of course.
And I really think that opening up another village like that would be a great opportunity to fill in a lot of the void that this game really needs at this point.
And then the thing is that this is the year of the horse. If people don't know, um, with the year of the horse, I'm thinking like if they did add in like a ranch or like a fairgrounds and do horseback riding, that'd be nice. And which would be like a lot of mini games that you can do for this fair, like what K Freeze was talking about with Macho Market with throwing like a bomb at the bottles to knock them down and all that. Like it would be nice, like have this little fairground to be hanging out with friends and like doing competitions with each other. It'd be very community inclusive. So
Right.
so with this in mind, it's we don't know exactly what they're planning, but I'm pretty sure with all the new stuff with like the furniture, it leads more towards a place where it's like kind of like a farm area in a way because we got the hay, we got the apples, we got the I think it was mostly like just farm stuff, yeah. For this,
Well, I mean, a lot of that though did come. I mean, they did literally just give us a whole
yeah, yeah.
ranch, and so they gave us a whole bunch of basically to reuse the decorations that they used for the ranch. They allowed us to have those decorations, which I feel is very good to go along with the
I
ranching.
agree, 100%.
So, but with the fact that we just got out of a, because like they just released a zone last year that was like dark and
Mm,
gloomy and nobody lives there. It's just an adventure action
yeah,
zone, so to speak. And so I definitely think their next go about for a zone would probably be something a bit more quaint and a lot of people and a more calmer atmosphere on, a countryside.
That we're familiar with. Right, that we're more familiar with. Yeah.
And that way, we're not just jumping into another dark and
Yeah, yeah.
gloomy area and it gets too samey. I definitely think if they're going to release new zones, that they're going to do it. They're going to like try to like make sure
Right,
each
right.
zone is vastly different than the last one, so that we don't, because I mean, if we had another zone
Yeah.
that was like Bahari, just with more trees, which was kind of the way I was feeling the Elderwoods
Yeah.
was gonna be, was kind of like Bahari with more trees. And but for it to be like so vastly different, just really made it really come into its own. So
Yeah. I think the one thing about Elderwoods all in general is like no one really hangs out in the caves. That's the thing as well. That's the area that no one really goes there unless it's for like questing. But other than that, no, there's no reason to actually like go into the caves that much. So there needs to be something that makes us draws us to go to these areas. Because I don't even remember like wanting to even to go to the caves in Elderwoods anymore. It's just like, okay, you go to the dock area for like Opu or
right.
like the Matana Grove or like the Deep Woods. Yeah, just for hunting. But then like for Schmoles, everyone's choosing the dock area. If you guys know the yeah,
I love
you
the
know
I
the
love
dock.
the
Yeah,
the place north of the docks because it's
yeah,
open. It's nice and
yeah,
open. The
yeah.
cameras don't mess with me for being in the cave. I mean, if they want to get us into the caves in the Elderwoods, the only way to do that is give us a blood beetle
Yeah,
plushie.
right. And I feel like that's
You
only one
know,
area though, but like there's like two caves area that you could actually be around. So those caves need to be utilized as well, not just like that one particular area for the blood beetle. So it needs a bit of work, I would say as well. Yeah. So if they can give us more plushies, that'd be great. But also like have more things in those caves for us to be like exploring around. Because yeah, you'll get like these little areas where you can find like a little
right?
chest, but other than that, like there's no actual use, like to be like in here.
Well, and that's the thing. Like, I feel like if the mushrooms had more use, then I would be like, yeah, the mushrooms. But then you get all of the mushrooms plus more just
Yeah,
schmoll
yeah,
hunting, and I feel like schmoll hunting really cuts into some of those mushrooms, and the fact that we don't really use a lot of those mushrooms for
that's true.
anything
Yeah,
really, besides a couple of furniture pieces.
furniture questing. Yeah,
But
I get that.
exactly, and if you don't have a need for it for those, and a lot of these items are just so niche that you don't even need them. Like I do have my trufflets at my farm
Mm,
and I do collect mushrooms from them, and I know like my staircase mushrooms and my the other mushroom you get in the
yeah,
elder woods, the
yeah,
floatfish mushrooms. Those I end up turning into mush leather because they make more money that way.
yeah.
Not that I really need to min max my
No,
money, but that's what I do. But that's literally their only use is I turn into mush skin and then I sell the mush skin
yeah,
for more
yeah.
money. Like, there's really no reason for me to go out and collect
Mm,
them. But so if they had more use for them, like if they were like a more valuable mushroom in a cooking recipe per se, but not that anybody needs to cook a recipe that
I
requires a
mean cream
mushroom,
mushroom soup. Oh,
because
Gina's favorite.
yeah, but who's doing cream of mush? Who is doing cream of mushroom soup parties?
That'd be nice though. Hey, we invite Gina over here. Let's go.
Like, but I mean, going back to what I know I had previously mentioned before, I would love for them to like actually like change up the cooking
Mm-mm.
meta, and just like change some of the values of some of these
Right.
items just to see a meta shift in the
I would love
game.
that. Yeah.
So I know that's something we've talked about. Just, that way we're cooking different recipes or
Yeah,
whatever,
no,
you
especially.
know? That way we're not all cooking the same handful of
Yeah.
recipes and it gives us a reason to collect different
Right.
things. Everybody will start fishing, then everybody will start collecting all the float fish
Yeah.
mushrooms, or whatever.
Like it gets more variety. Like I'm tired of seeing the theme parties over and over and over again. Like I want to see something different, and I think that's what's lacking. Really, is like if you just make it
Hmm.
once and that's it, rather than like okay, we could do like a bunch of other things. No, like you're only limited to like certain amount of recipes, and that's basically it. That's the only appeal to actually like getting the most expensive resources for this like particular edition. That's it. Yeah,
Exactly. So but if they would, if they would change the value of fish and some of these higher end fishing recipes and just slightly lowered a lot of their values and like slightly brought up, the value of crabs or the value of mushrooms or the value of some of these other recipes, then maybe, there would be a meta shift in what everybody's
yeah,
doing in the parties and it would change up what we're doing for a little
right.
while. Like, I know that sounds crazy to talk about a meta in a little cozy game like this, but there is
There is.
one. And there are particular things you do to make the
Yeah, of
most
course you do.
money. And so, I feel like just changing it up would
It
be a
would
lot
be.
of fun. Throw a little
It
chaos.
that's the thing with a lot of things in the game is that like yeah you have all these skills and all that, but they don't make as much money compared to the other skills, which is kind of very like yes they've changed like the mane and the antlers and like the other thing like the scales to be like done for profit, but it does take a bit more time in order to compared to like a cooking party where you're just standing there and just making a dish and they're like, oh, done. But rather than like hunting wise, you gotta actually like hunt a bunch in order to make a really good profit in that sense. Right? It just seems like one can
Mhm.
be made like very easily compared to the other. So I don't know. I feel like they should really increase like the pricing wise, but also have something that for us to keep grinding more of.
Like, I don't mind cooking making the most
Yeah,
money, don't get me
yeah,
wrong. Like, cause like a lot of the cooking recipes, should, and does require you to do things from other
right.
skills. You gotta collect sweet leaf, from foraging, you gotta fish up particular kinds of fish, you know. Theoretically, you would be able to have to catch particular bugs like crabs, but nobody really does that one. But it does require a you got a garden, you can now do the
Yeah,
ranching, so I feel like I have no problem with cooking making the most money because you got to collect things from all these other
right,
skills to put them together to make the
right,
most money. But I wouldn't mind the changing of values to change what we cook.
right,
It's hard to do a 20-person hunting party,
right. And
That things get a little chaos. And that and bug catching. You know how hard it is running those big bug catching
right, of
events.
course. And they take a lot of time, and also just to fill up a server as well, that takes a lot of time. But even then, like even if you do like so much advertising, it's you're still not guaranteed to get a full server as well. And I think it's another thing that's lacking in the game if you really think about it. Like cooking is the only one that needs other skills in the game in order to like make it a really good party. So I'm thinking like maybe like what about like alchemy in a way? Like if you were to like do a group like event for that, like everyone has this big giant pot and everyone has to like contribute to it, and then
You beat me to my next subject point. Cuz I was actually going to say, and before we actually get into
okay,
that, I will actually say this. They did add a new skill last
yeah.
year. So do you think they are going to add another skill this year? Do you think we're going to get a new skill this
So
year?
before the whole ranching existed, we were just guessing literally of what's gonna happen. We noticed that on the top of the character on the left there, for the characters when you talk to them, Kamala had a store, but we didn't know what the store was about. But once the Elderwood got released, then we knew that okay, it's for a store in the Elderwood. But we're thinking like Oh, Tamala could be like an alchemy, the one that's the skill for that one. I'm thinking like yeah, they could. I don't see why not. And also there could be a lot of things that could require that needs other skills in order to get it. Like with rancher wise, I'm not sure how exactly you could do in order for like a bunch of people to be like coming together and getting the materials they need in order to like hey, here's how we make ranching better to like do as a group activities and all that. Like the thing with the ranching, they allowed like for other players to go into your farm and like do where they you like you haven't done yet, and then they get exp as well. So like, but with gathering wise, with like materials, there's nothing like that with ranching. So I don't know, like that's what I'm really thinking about because like you're getting like all these expensive recipes for cooking, but you're not getting it for the same thing with ranching. Like I'm not sure if you want the same thing, but you kind of want to work together from like to get from other skills in order to work on like either feeding your animals or like doing something with them, so you can actually benefit from this other skill as well. Like it's kind of hard to say because with needing something from a different skill to add it onto this skill, it makes us like I don't know. Do we use it? Do we not? Type of thing, you know? Like it was
I
worthwhile, right?
mean, you gotta feed your
Yeah, yeah,
animals, and that requires you to get most likely
yeah,
food from some
yeah,
source. So, there is
yeah.
that. But no, like I definitely like the way they've done ranching with multiplayer. As I said, I wouldn't have done ranching the way they did ranching in the game. But since this is the way they implemented
Mm,
it, it's not really going to change they're not going to be like, "Oh, you can now put a ranch on your home plot." We're never we're I can almost guarantee we're never going to get that option.
mm.
Like ranching is going to stay on a ranching plot
Right,
connected to your home
right.
plot. So, but as far as like ranching goes, I like the way the multiplayer aspect goes. It's basically the best, in my opinion, that they can do for
Mm,
it. Unless, and my only thing is I wish gardening got the same treatment so
yeah,
that if people come over and if they weed or water a plant, they get like an extra, point of experience. It doesn't even have to be that much, just a little
right,
bit,
right, right.
just to give them a little more for wanting to help your friends take care of your gardens or
Right,
whatnot.
right.
But yeah, like I know earlier like last year, like I was convinced we were getting alchemy. All the signs were pointing
Yeah,
to it.
and then we got
And
disappointed.
I know,
uh,
right? But thinking that they were going to add two new skills at about the same
mm,
time would definitely be unreasonable.
yeah,
But they did give us one of the two everybody's hoping for. So I don't know if we're going to get a new skill
yeah,
this year. Personally, I would rather than put more resources to getting us more questing and more zones made right
yeah.
now. Like, I would love for them to do like a new skill maybe next year in 2027. I mean, don't get me wrong. I want alchemy
We
in
we
this
we want it
game.
now, but
I
yeah,
want
but I get it.
I want alchemy
Yeah.
parties. Okay, like, and that's the thing also, though. I
Mm.
will say this. They did include a brand new potion into the game with the fisherman's potion, the angler's
That is
fortune, which,
two, I
by the
believe.
way, I have used multiple times now, and I am not. I don't really, it doesn't make a difference
Yeah.
for me. I don't get it. I'm not luckier on it. One of my good Judies, Hisora, she apparently was super lucky on hers,
Jeez.
but not mine.
Hmm.
Mine, I literally had my standard luck when I
Yeah.
used it, but still, it's more. But that's just a sidetrack. It's more the fact that they added a new potion into the game, and they keep adding potions, so it makes me feel like alchemy is gonna be coming.
Yeah. And especially with it's not just one, by the way. They added a second one where you're able to get more essence from that potion.
Oh
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
So like
you know.
They are coming with potions. I see it. But they're doing it in a way where you're like, it's kind of like you're using currency in order to buy it. I'd rather have it where you can actually just craft it. Yeah, that'd be nice if they do it for a new skill. Mm,
100%. Like, and I want it to work like cooking
yeah.
does. Like, I want it to where there are different jobs that need to be performed, and multiple and different people can perform different jobs, and we can do things
Mm,
together, and there are basically
yeah.
recipes. Like, that's the way I want alchemy to
Yeah.
go, and I want it into the game this
Right.
year. Like, will we get it this year? I'm not too sure on that one. I'm probably leaning more towards the no. But let me tell you what, if I can have alchemy parties by the end of the year, oh, I would be so
I'll be
excited.
very, very happy about that. And we'll see how it's like how community inclusive it is. But one thing I want to say about ranching though is that I'm very, very timid because with how they're handling with like the animals being purchased to be used as like your pet outside of ranching for that costing a lot of money. Yeah, I was kind of livid on that. They're making big bucks with that, and
Right.
it costs so much to be like, hey, you want this out of your ranch and into the free world? Yeah, you got to buy this license in order to do that. Like, bro, that's so expensive. It's not just it's
I
not just
know,
for
but
like one for one animal. They're doing it for all of them. So it's just like, oh man, so you have to spend like $200 in order to get like all these animals, but you can only have one out at each time, bro.
yeah, see, like that's definitely like I kind of wish they did it to where it was like you bought an animal
Yeah.
license and it would be for all of any of them
Yeah,
you
exactly.
grow.
That's what I wanted.
Let it be one for all
Yeah,
animals, but I mean, it is what it is. I've not actually bought that yet
I did.
cuz I'm Pora Pora. So I have yet to actually experience that
Yeah,
whole thing, and I've never took one of my pet. But then again, like I do ranching completely
yeah.
different. Like I literally just buy animals and then I send them away when they're old, and then I buy more. Like I don't worry about breeding traits because like I'm not going to be able to keep them indefinitely, and I'm not really attached to them.
I,
So, like, I would love to, but with the way the system
yeah.
is, I can't. There's no reason for me to breed my ultimate animal.
I,
As
I
I
feel
said,
like they might do that in the future though, because there's
because like the never grow
yeah,
cookie, like if it won't affect adults. Like if it affect adults, and I could basically breed my ideal
yeah,
one, and then they would basically never grow old. I would never have to worry about
yeah.
babies. I just go in, feed them, and collect them every day. I would be so happy. Let that be like a legendary cookie, kind of like a divine donut type of
Yeah,
thing, where those things are like super
yeah.
hard
It's
to
a
get.
legendary treat.
You know,
Yeah,
I would be down for that. And you know what? I would breed the ultimate pet and I would feed him one of those. And then guess what? I would probably eventually I would work really hard on ranching if I had that
yeah.
opportunity. But
Like,
the fact that the never grow old only works on babies, I'm like, I'm not interested. Like, and so I just kind of buy them, I take care
yeah,
of them, and then I let them go, and then I buy
right.
more. And that's how I level up my ranching, and that's how I play my ranching right
So,
now.
like, with two things with ranching wise, like you can go two ways, is what I'm seeing it. One is where the attributes is working towards the stats, and then the traits is also going towards the beauty of the animal. So I feel like there might be
Mm-hmm.
two things where it might be like, oh, here's a little show, like what do you call those? Like those like showcase where you're like, okay, this is like the best in show because it has all these traits and all that. Or like, oh, this has like the quick attributes. So like, if you play like a mini game with them, you can actually like have this like effectiveness of what the traits have. Like, there's quick,
Mm-hmm.
there's the Gorma, I think Gorma or something called that. And then like, there's all these
Mm-hmm.
like attributes that you can actually make it like better in some way, but we don't know what it's used for, other than like, oh yeah, they have this quick trait, but like, what's it used for? I don't know. So I feel like they might do like
Oh,
some mini game with that. I feel like.
Well, I was about to say, I know, like, for instance, I loved Quick 5 because basically that means they produce items quicker.
Ah, okay, okay, okay. Okay, I did not know
Yeah,
that.
and so yeah. And so that's why actually Quick 5 is one of my favorite traits to have. But basically, I would have like 2 cosmetic traits, 2 production benefiting traits where they make the most money.
Mm.
And so that way I would basically have like the most prettiest and most profitable animal there, and I would give it a everlasting donut or
Yeah, yeah.
whatever, and it would never die, and it would always stay an adult, and I would have worked hard on making sure like it got bred and it looked the way I wanted it
Yeah,
to
yeah.
look, and I would actually take time out to make my ideal
Yeah,
animal.
exactly.
But I'm not going to spend all of this time breeding the ideal animal for then it to grow
And then
old
die.
and
Well, not sorry,
get
doesn't die,
venerated
sorry.
on me,
It's just like, oh yeah. You can't do
and
anything about it anymore.
get sent back to their other
Yeah.
farm,
Yeah.
basically. And then the fact that every kid it could have had its whole life could have never gave me not one perfect
Right, right,
child,
right.
So I couldn't even, then it's either that or I'd have to use a divine donut and then go back through baby stage, back into adulthood, which is fine. But the fact that it happens so quickly and you can't get enough divine donuts quick enough that it would just be too much. So that's just and so that's the way I play ranching. I simplify it for
Right.
myself.
And if they do in the future make mini games based on the traits, that'll be another huge thing because you're just like, oh, I can see the competitiveness about that. Like, hey, here's my perfect animal, and then like, oh man, now I need to compete in order to make a perfect animal as well. It's just like, oh, I don't know. Like, it can be very casual, but also can be very competitive at the same time. I feel like I don't
hmm
know.
Well, I mean, it's like with
Yeah,
gardening. So many of these people have these overcomplicated
yeah,
gardens just so they don't ever have to take care
yep,
of it and to yield the most and get the most levels as quick
yeah.
as they can. People will min max
They
any
would, yes.
game. It's just kind of it's a gaming nature. We will min max
Everything, right?
everything
Yeah, we know we will.
somehow.
Yeah, we
You
will.
know?
And literally min maxing everything is what we do. So unfortunately, yeah, it's not gonna stop us from not doing it. And people are always looking like the cheese. If there's no cheese, then people are gonna get bored of it. But once you get the cheese in, then it's just like, yep, this is how we're doing it. And people are like, wow, how are you doing that? Like all that.
I got one more big thing on my wish list I plan to bring up today.
Ooh.
And it's I want a tower 2.0.
Okay, I really thought about this before we came on stream. Tia came on the podcast today. I feel like yeah they could, but I feel like what they could really do is have us build a tower. Because I've been seeing a lot, like some people actually doing like the tower on their plot, but no one was really actually like participating in them, and they're actually some of them are really good. But I feel like Palia should be
Yeah,
allow us to build like a tower type of plot.
well, I mean, I feel like you can if
Yeah,
you're
yeah,
creative enough, but I'm just talking about because I mean, that's like
it
playing
is.
Mario Maker.
Yeah,
Like, don't get me wrong, I love
yeah,
Super Mario Maker, but there is nothing like playing a regular Mario level to me any day over a fan made. I don't know what it is. It's none against people. They might make a
right,
lot
right,
better
yeah,
levels,
yeah,
I see people make some
right.
really
So am
creative,
I. Yeah,
fun levels.
yeah.
Do
So
not
am I.
get me wrong. But like I just would like cuz like I like the idea of going in and doing the tower because
Yeah,
like they made it, you get an
yeah.
accomplishment for it, and when you finish it, you get rewarded or whatever. And I would love for them to put out like to an extent maybe like every zone has its own like little tower area.
Yeah.
And like that's the thing, it doesn't okay like okay, it's
Uh,
bear with me, okay? What if like it's not even like an instance area, it's just part of
okay.
the zone, okay? Like we're in the Elder Woods, and it's over there by the docks, and all of a sudden, like, there are just some floating stone or whatever, and you got to jump from
Oh,
stone to stone, and the next thing you know, you're like going up to this whole like little extra area in the
right,
zone, in which there's a reward to get up there
right,
to the top, and it would just be, it doesn't even have to be like its own like instance area. This
right.
is the tower. Just have like a fun little like platforming area.
I
I
don't
just
know, that'd
think
be
that would be
good.
fun,
Like, I
personally.
think some things they're not utilizing with the tower though is that with the air temple. I know many people hate it, but they did do like the air where you're able to be lifted up and like pushed down and all that, and it had like some of
Mm-hmm.
the tower aspects in that as well. Like, I wish there could be a bit more stuff they could be adding into the game of like that might not be in the game yet, or that it's already in the game, but they're not utilizing it in the tower in a way. Yeah,
Right, like the
yeah, the bouncy
bouncy
shoes. Yeah,
shroom.
yeah, there you go.
The bouncy shrooms were something they added. Now, granted, like the tower does
Little
have their
they
own
do
like
little springs. Yeah,
springs, which kind of do the
yeah,
same
yeah,
thing towards the top. But but yeah, like they had like the bouncy shrooms they can put in, and they've got other stuff that they have
yeah.
created that they could change
No, I
into,
get it.
Like, what if like the only way to get to the very top of one of those super tall trees was to complete like a tower-esque thing,
Right,
I think that would just have been kind of cool. And so, like, I would just like a second version of the tower. Maybe not necessarily instanced, maybe instanced. I wouldn't mind it being like the Tower
right,
2
right.
area. Let's say that the next zone is
Yeah,
a village. Maybe they have a broken arcade machine that's the
right,
Tower 2, and you got to go over there to go to
right,
the Tower 2. I wouldn't be
right,
mad at that either. I'm just saying, I wouldn't mind. I feel like there are just so much like little things that they put into the side, which they could add into the game a bit
yes,
more frequently, and they would be able to more utilize a lot of the stuff they've already put
right,
into the
right.
game.
And I just want to put a disclaimer for S6 if they are listening to this. Don't make it a mandatory thing. Like, please, for the love of God, please no. I know many people like love the tower, but I know also many people that also don't like the tower either. So just like for those who are just like very like casual, don't make it like an absolute thing that we have to do if they ever do it. Yeah,
No, no,
yeah,
no. Well, and that's the thing. I feel like most everything in this game
yeah.
is optional. I mean, you don't even have the you don't even have to do the
That is
storylines
true.
if you don't want
Yeah,
to.
but it's part of the fun of the yeah.
You don't have to do the
That is
temples
also
if you
true.
don't want to. But, and I know there are some of people that's in my stream, they're all like, I'm never going into the tower. I
Yeah,
hate the tower. The
yeah,
tower is
exactly.
the
Yeah,
worst
yeah, yeah,
thing
yeah,
in this
yeah, yeah.
game. And I had a lot
Yeah.
of fun in it. I've completed it in 20 minutes
Wow, that
now.
is
That's probably the best I'll be
dang.
able to do. Now, granted, it's like 20 minutes and two
Still 20
seconds,
minutes in my
but I
opinion.
still count it as a
In my
20-minute
opinion.
run.
Yeah.
Exactly. So I might not have got the 20-minute achievement, but close
Right.
enough. And
Oh,
as I said, I had a lot of fun with it. I love going in with
right.
it with other people, and I love taking other people
Through the
through
tower,
their
yeah.
journey of the
Yeah.
tower with
And
them.
I love that. People are like,
You know,
yeah, I've completed the tower, but I can show you how to do it. And I'm like, oh, that's so sweet. You don't really have to, but they are willing to help you through the whole process, which I'm really happy about that.
right? Well, and that's the thing. I made a tower guide back in, I think it was like
Yeah,
April of last year, right before I moved down here,
yeah,
moved up here to Virginia. And I know that video still people comment on it saying, "Oh my god, I made it through the
yeah.
tower. Thank you so much for the video." And
It
it's
is
such a
such an
good
amazing
feeling
feeling.
helping
Yeah, it's
people
such an
through the
amazing feeling.
tower. And as I said, I would just love
Yeah,
another tower.
and I think one thing they really need to add, like, it's like for the tower wise, the tower it needs to have. Oh my god! Imagine like, have you played a game called like Chained Up or something like that? Anything like that? So okay,
No.
so this game is basically how it works is that you're chained with another person. So you
Mhm.
two have to be climbing up together. If one of you guys fall, you're dragging the other person down with you. So I don't know.
Oh my god, are you saying you want a
Yeah, a
co-op
co-op
version of
version
the
where you're chained
tower?
up together and you have to climb up the tower together. It'll be very tedious,
Okay,
but I
like,
feel like it might be a bit of fun for those who are playing.
oh my god, like, okay, not gonna lie, if like they added it like at the beginning, if like
Yeah,
you're in a
yeah,
party with somebody and both y'all click an orb right at
right.
the bottom of the tower, and then like a line would be
Yeah,
connected between y'all, and if that line was ever like
yeah,
it has a
yeah. A
limit,
short limit.
yes,
Yeah.
absolutely, I'm
Oh
down for
man, I
that.
feel I can see so many people clipping, so many people raging. But at the end of the day, you guys are having fun. It is a different version of the tower. Not necessarily you don't have to do this. You can do this on your own. But if you want a bit of a challenge, it is there, and you can do it as a partner group. Oh, you can have 4 people to be honest with you,
Like
but
Like,
yeah,
not gonna lie, if they would do something like that on the regular tower, it would bring so much life
right,
back to the
right.
regular tower.
And I'm pretty sure many people will love that. But I think the moving platforms might kill it though. But I don't know.
It might, but
Yeah,
that's part
yeah.
of the challenge. The Green
Yeah,
River of Death is has its name for the river. It has its
exactly,
name for a
yeah. And
reason.
I know I fell on that river so
Like
many times. It's not even funny.
that and
Yeah,
IKEA
it's not even
Tower.
funny anymore. I've fallen like more than 10 times over that river. Yeah,
You know, but and that's just like the most challenging part in my opinion. Like the moving platforms there,
yeah.
those green ones, that is the hardest part in the whole
Oh
tower. If
boy.
you can make it through that, you can make it through anything in the
I don't know.
tower,
I
in my
like with me.
opinion.
I fell way too many times at IKEA Tower. That was oof. That was not my tower. That was not my
Yeah,
tower.
but other than the
Yeah,
rotating platforms, I feel like everything else was stationary, so I could sit there and breathe and take
yeah.
my time. But once you got to that second half of the Green River, it's like make it or break it. If you don't go, that swinging pendulum is going to get you on its
I
next
think the
round. You
problem with
know,
me in that key tower in general is that you're not used to jumping on furniture in that sense, where it's just like, are you overestimating? Are you underestimating on like how big the object is? And you feel like, oh, you got it. Oh nope, you fell through because you overjumped it. That's the only thing with me. I'm just like, I
right?
don't know how big this is in order to like, do I go forward? Do I go back? And you're just like literally guesstimating on like how's the landing. That's it. But if you're used to it,
Hmm.
yeah, props on you. But for us who are just like, nah, we never really jump on furniture that much in midair. So it's just like, bro. So that's just my problem with that one. But it's all good. It's a challenge. I get it. So it's all good.
Exactly. That's what makes it part
Before we end, I
fun.
want to talk about one more thing I want them added in,
All right,
which is an overcook slash cooking mama type of mini game. Can we please add that if
right.
that's the case? Cooking has been a huge community aspect in Palia, but I would love a cooking mama slash overcooked type of mini game where you're basically you can design how you want your restaurants to be. You can put how much tables you want, and many customers are going in and out, and also like people from the server could like actually join in to be dining in and then leaving, coming back in, ordering something else. I think it'd be really really fun. I think it'd be really fun. It'd be chaotic and it's also a bit not that cozy, but it'll be a bit cozy, not too much, but it will be a really fun one where like yeah you will be burning things. You will be like missing the dead mark on like the timer and all that. But that's all fun in games like. But it's also a distraction to the things that they're currently working on. I think that's the thing that's lacking right now. It's just like there needs to be some sort of distraction while they're working on this other things that are happening that in the process for new updates. Right? I think that's the thing that they're really missing on. Because the last game that they added in was literally the hot pot. And after that, there was like no other new mini games they've added in. So it's
No, they've added in like plushies and
yeah,
community events. Like I feel like that's their way of keeping us busy whilst they work
yeah.
on new content. But I definitely agree. We definitely need some new, different stuff to.
But at the same time, though, if you I've talked to many people like trying to go with the Kitsu plushie. That could take you literally a second or days or weeks. So
Well, they were literally telling
yeah,
you not to
exactly,
do
right,
mining parties and not to
right,
farm
right,
the
right.
Kitsus. Like they were. Singularity 6 was flat out like, look, don't be doing this for this, but you
We
can
literally
get
took it
this
as a challenge,
here.
and then people were like, "Bet." We still did it anyways. But still, like there
Exactly.
has to be like some like mini game to be. Even though plushies are essential, there has to be something that can just like that's completely different than kitsu farming. I would say. So I'm hoping like maybe like a
Right.
cooking type of mini game that'll be good. That'll be great. In order for us to be distracted of that. I don't know. If you guys have any suggestions about that, like
Right.
just have like a mini game in general, just let us know. I would love to hear your thoughts on that.
Right. As I said, I know one of I haven't said it yet, but I know one of the things I would love to get going is my little like mini game cooking tournament I want to
Yeah,
get going. As I said, I've got a great idea for it.
do
I
it.
just have to actually get it going.
It takes a long time to
You
build,
know,
but so I get it.
and
Yeah,
and getting
right,
everything straightened up. But as I said, it's something that I'm definitely like hoping that in the next few months I can actually get up off the
right.
ground. So if you're definitely interested in that, make sure to stay tuned, and I will have all information on that as soon as I have it
Let me know
available.
if I have to build the same one as you, so we can just like let me know. Okay,
Will do.
I'll look at it and then like try to mimic it. We'll see.
But any rate, so I guess that will pretty much cover most everything we have to
Let's go.
discuss this week. So I guess it's time for
Your
Shinori
noise question
question
of
of
the
the
week.
week.
So I do apologize for last week's for the questions lately, guys. I'm asking you guys way too many questions at the very end of the podcast. So I'll just stick with one. What's one thing that one thing or multiple things that Palia could add into the game to make it better? I know some people have been burnt out by Palia on like how it's set up right now. But what will if you're like a player that's like taking a break and just waiting for new things to happen? What things do you want S6 or Daybreak to add into the game that would bring you back and be like, "Yep, I'm gonna play this game for a long time now." So I would love to hear your thoughts and your comments on what could S6 do in order to bring back the community because we all love Palia, but I know people are saying it's lacking something. So if you guys could give us more information on what they could do in order to make more of the game more lively again, we would love to hear it.
And make sure to follow us here on
Mm,
Spotify or subscribe to YouTube, whichever platform you listen to us on.
Basically, just follow us on Twitch with Kfir Scene or Shinori Yoru.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Make sure to follow us on Twitch and all other social medias.
Mm,
And until the next time, we'll see you guys later.
bye.
Bye.